Hello, and welcome to Talk to Downtown. My name is Courtney Wood. I'm the Economic Development Director for the Downtown Stockton Alliance, which is a 501c6 nonprofit property-based business improvement district serving downtown Stockton. This webinar series is intended to connect our business owners, property owners, visitors, and residents with the organizations, people, and resources who can help address issues which are of top concern to them. Today, we have two special guests. They are my fellow Downtown Stockton Alliance staff members. We have the DSA's Office and Operations Manager, Charisse Lowry, and also our DSA Hospitality Ambassador, Johnny Palacios. So I'm really happy to talk to both of you today to share a little bit more about the DSA, what we do. We're going to talk about maintenance, operations, and events today in downtown Stockton. To begin, we will have our guests introduce themselves, share a little bit about their role and how long they've worked at the Downtown Stockton Alliance. Then I will go ahead and ask them my list of questions I've outlined for them. And at the end, we will open it up for viewer questions. So if you do have a question and you're watching this live, please type it in as a comment on Facebook. So welcome everyone, and welcome Charisse and Johnny. Thank you so much for being my guests today. I'm really excited to talk to you. Please introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and how long you've been with the Downtown Stockton Alliance.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Charisse Lowry. I've been with the DSA for 24 and a half years. I started in 1998 at the very beginning of conception. So it's been a roller coaster.
Original staff member.
Yeah. There's only two of us left that started from the beginning.
Amazing. Thank you, Charisse and Johnny.
So after those two originals comes me. I'm Johnny Palacios. I'm one of the hospitality ambassadors and / admin assistant. I've been with the company 15 years. When I first started, these guys were celebrating their 10 years. So I've been here 15 years, seems like a lifetime, but it's been very, very rewarding.
Exciting. I love it. You guys have, so many years of experience, and I'm ready to dive into a little bit about your time at the DSA and what you do now. Awesome. Okay. My first question for both of you is, what initially drew you to work for the Downtown Stockton Alliance?
Actually, at the time that I was looking for a job, I was a single mother. I had 4 children, and I needed a job. So I was in going to school, and my teacher happened to see a poster that they had posted for a hiring for the Downtown Stockton Alliance. So I applied, and luckily I got hired. And like I said, I've been with the company ever since. So my roles have changed. I started off as, in the days that we started, they were guides, but now they're ambassadors. So I started off part-time, and I worked my way up. In 2007, I came into the office as an admin assistant. And then after that, I became the office manager. And then after that, it became operations manager as well.
Yes, a lot of changing roles, changing hats, multiple jobs. Amazing. So you kind of worked your way up as starting as a guide. Okay. Yes. And Johnny, how about for you?
Well, first of all, let me say in 2007, when I started, like Charisse said, she had just became the office manager. That's what she had just started. So through those 15 years, all the stuff that we've seen when we were looking for CEOs and we didn't have one, blah, blah, blah. I'm very proud because she put on that hat a long time ago, and she's really, really worked her way up. And I'm just so proud of everything that she's learned and everything she's teaching me. I myself had never heard of the Downtown Stockton Alliance. In 2007, there used to be this little store here in Stockton. It was called Louis Fruit and Produce. It was the first time we used to do a farmer's market every Friday from May to October. And I wasn't working. So they said if I wanted to work for them on the farmer's market, on Fridays, just for 5 to 6 hours. I said, sure. So I did that. The Downtown Stockton Alliance at that time, they were the ones that were running it. So through those months, I got to meet some of the hospitality guys. And by the end of the farmers market, I was actually offered a job with the Downtown Stockton Alliance. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions that I ever made. I said, yes. That's how I started the DSA. Before that, honestly, I never even heard of them.
So you've heard about it through the farmers market, got your feet in, and then you came in and never left, just
left.
like Charisse. And that's funny. I feel like my story is similar with starting as an intern and, now working as an economic development person. I feel like that's the nature of the DSA. It's very interesting. Okay. So go ahead, Charisse. It sounds like you're going to say something.
Once you walk in the door, you never leave.
It definitely seems like that. In your own words, what do you guys find to be the most rewarding aspect of working for the Downtown Stockton Alliance? Like, what do you love about it?
I get to, I've seen a lot of positive changes in the downtown area. You work with a lot of good people. It's in the DSA, it's like family. And that's the way it's treated. Mike has an open door policy where, in some jobs you work, you've got the hierarchy and then you've got the people under, but it's not like that at the DSA. Everyone feels important. Everyone is recognized. So it's just like a great big family. When one is sick, do you need anything? Can I buy you anything? It's family. We fight, we argue like siblings, but we all get along.
I love it. So you love the culture of the DSA and the work environment. I agree with you totally.
It is one of the best work environments I've ever worked in.
I would agree. Totally agree. And Johnny?
I would definitely agree with that too. It's a great place to work. I wouldn't have known that from the very beginning, but it's turned out to be a great place to work, great people. The communication is always there. And when it's this, like Charisse said, like Mike, he's on the same team level as us. You work hard, you play hard. And he gives us that opportunity to play and work at the same, and not play like we waste our time. We work hard. Every day is different. But the fact that we have that work atmosphere, like Charisse said, it's very unique. And I think that's one of the biggest parts why I've stayed here and will continue to stay here as long as I can.
Yes. A great team, great culture, great work environment. And now I'd like to talk a little bit, since each of you started at different times, what was downtown like when you first started, and kind of how have you seen it evolve over the years?
When we first started, and excuse me for saying this, but it was really bad. It was bad. Mm-hmm. You had drug dealers, prostitutes, hanging out on San Joaquin Street, out on California Street. Mm-hmm. The East End was really, really bad. It was nasty, dirty, a lot of abandoned buildings. It was a very bad environment, I have to say. As time progressed, they didn't take too kindly to the ambassadors walking around reporting things, but eventually, once they understood that we were there to stay, they kind of moved and got out of town with the help of Stockton PD. It cleaned up, and it's gotten cleaner. It's gotten better. The environment now is a 360-degree environment. We even had, when we first started, we had a person drive up beside us and called us snitches and talked about they were going to find us dead in a ditch.
Oh my goodness.
But it was scary down here, but we hung with it and we did what we were supposed to do. and it's 1,000 times better.
And that was back in 1998?
Yes.
Wow.
I've seen a little bit of all of it.
Interesting. So definitely it's cleaner. In your opinion, would you say that it's also safer?
Yes, definitely 1,000 times safer than it was when we first started. Yes. I mean, now you can walk down the sidewalk, you can walk down the street without fear of prostitutes, drug addicts, somebody robbing you. Yes, it's a lot safer.
Okay, quite a transformation.
I have no fear being, and like I said, from then until now, this is a cakewalk.
Yeah, I agree. I'm totally comfortable walking around downtown myself. You know, I feel that it's safe personally. Thank you, Charisse. How about Johnny? When you started, can you tell us the year that you started so that we can kind of have that, you know, in our minds, and then tell me what it was like when you first began compared to now?
Okay, well, when I first started was in 2007. Like I said earlier, with the farmers market. But before that, Courtney, I had never ever stepped foot into downtown. I had only lived here for a few years at that point. Not because I had heard anything negative about downtown. I just had never stopped. I would drive through, and it was very pretty to me. So once I started working with the Downtown Stockton Alliance in October of 2007, when the farmers market ended, like Charisse said, all those elements, the prostitution, the drug dealing, all that, by that time, they had already cleaned it all up. So to me, it was like, oh, you should have seen how it used to be. Now, that was 15 years ago. Since then, from my experience, I never seen the prostitutes and all of that, but I had heard a lot about it, and I heard negative stuff about downtown Stockton in the past. Not now, but in the past 15 years, downtown is thriving slowly but surely. It's unique to any other downtown that I've ever been to because it's a lot more smaller, but it has grown. Being that I'm here in downtown almost every day, you'd have to be here to see it. So it's really, really, there's good and bad in everything, but downtown is thriving, and I'm so proud to say that I've been here to see it and to be involved in what I can. But those elements, by the time I started, the DSA had already cleaned that all up. So
wow,
I can only imagine what it's going to be like in the next 15 years, and I hope I'm around here to see it, even as a visitor.
Okay, so both of you have seen quite a dramatic transformation to the downtown Stockton area. And Charisse, you touched on the ambassadors walking around, and that was kind of a deterrent for some of the activities that had been going on here. How else do you think the DSA has played a role in that transformation for both of you?
Well, like I said, the ambassadors at the time, now we have safety ambassadors that patrol the areas at night. They patrol during the day. They're in the garage, Ed Coy garage. They're in the Cinema Plaza. So they act as deterrents as well. I think the police presence on the bikes deters a lot. So it's just more visual, more eyes and ears.
Definitely. How about for you, Johnny? How do you think the DSA kind of has played a role in this transformation?
Well, at the time when we were hospitality guides, we did walk around, we had our areas. There was a whole bunch of us. But we're really involved in, keeping the streets clean, keeping graffiti abatement, all of that stuff through the years, has really, really changed. To me, it's changed downtown and a lot of people's perception.
Definitely. I totally agree. It looks, to me, compared to certain other areas that you might be walking in the city, I think that downtown looks very clean. I think you guys do a great job.
That's really true, Courtney, because sometimes when I'm driving and I'll see, like an example, graffiti on one of the electrical boxes, I automatically graffiti, and then I would remind myself, well, you're not downtown, because if we see that downtown, we clean it.
You're like, list, okay, report back. Yeah, remove it. That's funny. Okay, thanks. Thank you both for sharing with us a little bit of a picture of what it was like downtown, when you first began and what it is like now, and kind of what you think the DSA has done to help create that change. So my next question is, what is one thing that you think people might be surprised to know about the Downtown Stockton Alliance?
Oh, that's a good one.
Or just about downtown in general?
You would have to question like that, wouldn't you, Miss Courtney? I think they would be surprised as to how involved the Downtown Stockton Alliance is with not only the city and the county, but the property owners, the business owners, projects that we do for the downtown area. A lot of people don't realize that we have our hands on many different projects and with many different resources that we have available for people.
Oh, I totally agree. Beyond the maintenance, I feel, some people maybe think that is all that we do. It's a huge part of what we do, but we have, beautification projects that we're doing. We have the portable bathroom and shower unit. There's so many different things that we're doing. You're totally right. You're totally right about that. All right. And Johnny, what do you think is something people might be surprised to know about the DSA?
I think they'd be surprised to know how long that we've existed since we first started. And then something that Charisse touched base on a little bit earlier is also we have the safety ambassadors. So let's just say that you need, you're leaving your job, you want to walk to your car, or you forgot your keys in your car, or your car doesn't want to start. We have the safety ambassadors that'll assist you, no problem. If it's walking to your car, helping you get your keys out of your car, jump starting your car. That service is really available all the time, every day. So I think that's something they'd be surprised to know. They usually are when we say, well, let me get a hold of somebody, they'll be there shortly to help you jump your car. Oh, well, thank you very much. A lot of them aren't aware of that. They're starting to because we're a big presence. Look, I might look like a security guard, but I'm really they wear the similar uniform, but they have a vest, a camera. We're not security guards. We just the eyes and the ears of the police. We just look a little bit different. So I am basically a safety ambassador as well as a hospitality ambassador, but that service is available every day. That's something I think
exactly. I think you're right. Yeah, people may not know about that. It's fairly new. I think we've only had it for 2 years maybe at this point. So it's a great service, the ability to get a safety escort if you need it. I love that. Okay, thank you guys. My next question is for Charisse. So you wear multiple hats at the DSA. You kind of are at the heart of the DSA, truly, as operations and office manager. I'd like to see if you could give us a little bit of a rundown of the types of duties and things that you're responsible for in these roles.
Well, as an office manager, of course, everyone knows you're responsible for getting the bills paid, doing the payroll, answering the phones, just about anything that the office needs, ordering supplies. You take on the role of keeping that office running. Any of your coworkers need anything, you have to take care of the office equipment. The printer goes down, something's wrong with the printer, of course, I have to fix it. You keep the office equipment lined up with your IT, with your phone company. So it's just basically making sure this office runs as smoothly as possible. Of the operations part, I oversee 12 of our maintenance guys. I make sure that they're on their routes every day. I make sure their equipment is running. We need to buy new equipment. I make sure that the pressure washer, his team is up and running, taking care of the downtown core. I also oversee the safety ambassadors. We have a supervisor, Mr. Ace Waters, but he falls under operations. So it's just many different tasks and keeping the ship tight and keeping it floating.
Right, making exactly. You're the go-to.
Yes, everybody comes to me. Everybody runs to me. So
it's the truth. And Johnny, can you give us a rundown? What are the duties involved in being an ambassador and being an admin?
Well, when I first started, we were hospitality guys, and we used to, the Downtowner, we used to have a publication. It was a newspaper every month. It was called the Downtowner, and we had it all through downtown. Some of the people who might be watching this now here in downtown, they might remember it. It was called the Downtowner. So every month, the first 2 weeks of the month, I was out delivering those papers to my businesses and stuff. And I basically was kind of like on patrol. I was outside 7.5 hours out of the day. Through the years, it's changed though, because maybe for the past 5 years, well, maybe for the past 10 years, I started doing the online calendar for our website, the events that are happening in downtown. So that gave me a chance to be in the office maybe 2 hours a day doing that data entry. But in the past 5 years, I've become more of an admin assistant or a hospitality ambassador / admin assistant. So I help Charisse and Mike out as much as I can when they need help. Charisse has really, really taught me a lot. So that it's changed in that way. Also in the summertime, I'm actually in here half the day. So I really appreciate that. But I can do some data entry, get a phone call to go help a citizen, go help a business, go so in and out. It's just ideal. So my role has changed for the better, in my opinion. Very fortunate. Thank
you. Courtney, I would be lost without Johnny. And Johnny is the life of the office.
That's so true.
Yeah, I depend on him greatly. But also when I came into the office in 2007, I was completely lost. I didn't know answering phones. Yeah, there's a set. But with the different people as time progressed, I've learned quite everything I know. I've learned from the different people that were or people working in the office. As you know, I even come to you at times, Courtney, how do I do this? So it's all been team effort.
Definitely. Everyone's trying to help each other, seeing, do you need a little bit of support here, understanding how to do this? And Charisse knows all the history of the DSA. So that's been like a huge help for me personally over time. Is like, okay, Charisse, tell me why this happened. Tell me, what was happening. Have we done this before? Like, you're the one that knows, if we've already done something in the past. And I love that.
I know where all the skeletons are hidden.
Yes, definitely. All right. So thank you both for telling me more about the duties involved in your role. And now I'd like to know, you guys, if anyone's calling the DSA throughout the day, most likely you're going to get one of these two answering the phone. I'd like to know what's the most common question that each of you gets asked, just over time. Maybe there's one question that you hear over and over, and how do you answer that question? Could be from the public, it could be from, property owners or business owners.
Mostly the questions I get, Courtney, because of the maintenance department, is can we have somebody to come by and pressure wash something on the sidewalk, or can we come and have someone clean up the human feces? So mine is mostly related to clean up or pick up something in the area of that manner.
Okay, and if someone does want pressure washing, tell us, how can they get that service to come to their location in downtown?
all they have to do is call in, give me the address. If it's not too late in the day where I can send our pressure washing crew out and they can get it that day. If it's too late in the day, if the guys are already gone, I set it up for the first thing in the morning when they come in at 3 a.m.
Perfect.
So it's going to be taken care of. I always try to make sure it's immediate.
Yeah, as soon as we can. I know that you send out the team as soon as possible. And with human waste, would you say it's the same process? Just call in?
Call in. And with that aspect of it, I can always call one of the maintenance guys, and then I can just let the pressure washing crew know in the morning to go hit that spot.
Perfect. All right. And Johnny, what's the most common question that you're asked?
Honestly, when I'm out for years since the beginning, people always ask me, Johnny, do you get paid? Do you get paid for what you do? I said, yes, I do. And then they want to know how to apply or what we do and how to apply. That's my main question when I'm out there communicating, socializing, all of that. Very popular question. How do you get that job? Do you get paid? And I said, yes. And then if they're interested, and I'll tell them how to apply.
That's interesting. Yes. Sometimes when I say that I work for a nonprofit, people say like, oh, you don't get paid. I was like, no, that's not true. Like we have staff members. We're staff. We get paid. So speaking of, hiring, Charisse, just offhand, do we have any openings right now on the maintenance team or on the ambassador team?
Not at the moment. Right
Okay.
now, we're at capacity. But I always tell everybody anything could change at any time. So just come in, get an application, fill it out, and don't fire.
Awesome. Okay, thank you both. Now, I would love to dive into maintenance. So this is going to be a little series of questions for you, Charisse. Can you tell us exactly what types of maintenance services the Downtown Stockton Alliance does provide, within the PBID boundaries? Just so people know, in case they're not aware.
The services we provide is weed abatement, graffiti abatement. We clean the sidewalks from the sidewalk out to the street. We make sure the paper is picked up. Feces is removed. They clean the gutter. They make sure leaves are blown and picked up. Also, the trash cans in the downtown area are emptied daily. We have different parking lots that the guys are responsible to go in and clean, make sure there's no paper, inside the parking lot, no paper on the outside. So it's just basically whatever we need to do to keep the downtown clean. Amazing.
And I know for anyone who's listening, there are 3 zones within the Downtown Stockton Alliance district. Can you tell us about which properties have access to all of these maintenance services just by being the downtown property owner?
Our area runs from Center Street all the way down to the railroad tracks, the Ace Station, all from Lindsay Street to Church Street. So anybody within those boundaries, and we also do the area out on Fremont where the arena ballpark up to Harrison Street. So anybody within that boundary, within those districts, they have the full service. Now, the service out on the west end, they only get marketing. They don't get the maintenance services, only marketing. But anybody within those other districts, they get everything. And pressure washing.
Yes. So I think maintenance is in zones 1 and 2. Zone 3, which is what you're talking about, the west side, that's the only area that doesn't get access to are maintenance services.
Correct.
Okay. So you kind of mentioned earlier that we've got 12 maintenance staff right now.
Right.
What hours are they working? So like people know when they can call in and could expect to have immediate, help with their issues.
My pressure washing team, they come in at 3 a.m. and they're usually off by 11:30. Some of my guys come in at 5 and they're off as well around 11:30 or 12. And then I have a couple of the guys that come in at 6. They get off at 12:30. And then I have a floater that comes in at 7 and gets off at 2:30, I think, somewhere around there. So we've got coverage pretty much till I'd say 2:30 in the
Great. So if anyone notices something on their sidewalk in the morning, call right away, because all of our maintenance guys are exactly. They're there. Yes. They're here in the morning, all the way through early afternoon. Great. That's great to know, just in case anyone doesn't. And now I'd like to kind of ask if you could designate, because you said weed abatement, you talked about sidewalk maintenance. And sometimes I know that there's a little bit of confusion about what the DSA can do on what areas and what properties. So can you tell us, does the DSA service parking lots? Can we do things on private property, or is it limited just to sidewalks mostly?
Yes, according to our governing plan, we only do public property. From the edge of the sidewalk out to the street, the gutters. We do not do anything on private property. As far as the parking lots, that is contractual work. We have a contract with LAC to maintain the parking lots. So my guys go by every morning. They check the parking lots. They pick up the garbage, the trash. Like I said, if there's leaves that need to be blown and picked up, they do that as well. But we never go on private property.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying that. And your maintenance team, they're very busy. Last year, according to the annual report, they picked up over 22,000 bags of trash just in that one year,
Yes.
And cleaned up over 2,000 instances of human waste, kind of just on the sidewalk or in the street. So they're very busy. What challenges does the maintenance team face, and how do you help them to kind of overcome those challenges?
Well, sometimes we have property owners that don't quite understand, why we clean one part and we don't clean the other. So we have to explain to them. We only do the public side. We don't do the private side. For the most part, the guys are pretty good about working out any problems or any situations on their own. I mostly only get involved when it's something that they can't take care of themselves. But for the most part, like I said, it's just communication. And letting people understand, yes, we can do this, but we can't do that.
Gotcha. Okay. And it was cutting out a little bit, but I could hear the end of what you were saying. So in conclusion about maintenance, is there anything else that you would like to share about the downtown maintenance services that you haven't shared already?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything that we take care of.
Okay, so it sounds like, no, you think you've got it all taken care of. Sorry if the sound is a little bit delayed. I just got a little notification that the internet is having a bit of trouble. So hopefully it will, hold strong. All right, thank you, Charisse. The next brief thing I want to ask is about the board. So you also take, all the minutes for the board, you put out the agendas for the board, Charisse. Are there any openings on the Downtown Stockton Alliance board currently?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we definitely have some openings. And it's very easy to apply. I can send an agenda to anyone that would be interested in serving on the board. And then they're emailed over to our nominating committee. And then they take over the process from there. But yes, we would love to have some new people apply to come on the board. We have 12 members now. And I think there's 2 that are the nominating committee is working on now. But yes, we always have openings.
Okay, awesome. And my next question is going to be, when are the board meetings? Just in case people want to know, because they are open to the public.
We have a admin finance committee meeting that is held the second Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. Our board meeting is held the third Wednesday of every month at 3:30. And right now we are doing Zoom meetings.
Perfect. So if someone would like to access the Zoom link or join us, how can they get access to that link?
They can call me and I can email them a link.
Perfect. I have one last question about the board of directors, and that is, are there any requirements for people if they are interested in applying?
They have to be either a property owner or a business owner in the downtown area. That's pretty much the only requirement.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I know that was like a field of questions specifically focused on you, Charisse. So thank you for answering them. And let's shift gears now to Johnny. I've got some questions for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first questions I want to ask are about hospitality. So you're very well known downtown. Whenever I walk with you, there's always at least 2 or 3 people that you're waving to or that are waving back to you. So you're public facing, you're well known, face in the downtown community. And I kind of just want to ask, how have you built those relationships over the years?
That's a good question. You know what? A good morning, a hello, it goes such a long way. So through the years, when I would see people, because like I said, I was mostly on the street back then. Good morning, hello. And I would visit businesses, assist visitors. So just through the conversations, the visits, and the lots of laughs through the years, those that remember me and I remember them, that's how I'm surprised myself, Courtney, because you're right, walking down the street, hello. And I was always really good with names and faces, but there's just so many now that it's difficult to keep up. But that's one of the best parts about this job is the recognition, just a friendly good morning, a hello, it goes a long way, whether you're a citizen, a business owner, even a homeless person. I think that's how I've done it. It's just that good mornings and hello, how you doing? And if not, say you can see me talking to somebody else and then you're just like, oh, that guy's nice. So I like to think so.
Exactly. So it's all about just, being polite, greeting people, getting to know them. Yeah, I love that about you. And I think it makes you really good at your job, your position.
Thank you.
If you had to guess, how many business owners, business employees or residents do you think that you've met over the years?
Oh gosh, if I had to guess, over 80,000. Over 80,000, including citizens, people I visited in businesses. That's with the whole 15 years. Yeah, I'd say over more than 80,000 for sure. That's a lot, huh? Yeah.
Definitely. And I know that's including events. You've, been to so many events over the years, both of you have. So that's a huge number. And I was very curious to know what you thought about that. What impact do you believe that the interactions that you have with these business owners, residents, visitors that are just walking around, what impact do you think that has had on the downtown community?
Well, not to toot my own horn, but maybe, okay, for visitors to come here, that they'll realize that there's good because of my interactions with them, that there's good everywhere, depending on what their perception of downtown was. The business owners, the employees here in downtown, they know that I'm a good, friendly resource to get up. I mean, when they see me, to ask me a question or to call me, I would say, my impact is, well, we could always ask Johnny. When we see Johnny, ask Johnny. He'll probably know. And if not, he'll know somebody who will help you get that answer. We'll find out whatever you need. That's what I like to be. Not to toot my own horn, but yeah, there's good everywhere.
Exactly. What's one tip that you would give to visitors coming to
You
downtown?
know what? Okay, so if they came downtown Stockton, I would tell them to, why don't you guys try a Walk with Weber audio tour? And then you get a little, your self-guided tour, you soak it all in, and you realize, that it's really, really nice here. It's nothing to be afraid of. Not that everybody is, but some people come here thinking, oh, I'm so scared of me. And it's really, really a pretty place. And then the buildings, the history here, it's just amazing. So we have a self-guided audio tour, Walk with Weber. I would recommend them to do that if they came to me wanting to know what they could do in downtown. After that, I would recommend any of our restaurants that are here downtown. They're all good.
Awesome. Yeah, Walk with Weber. It's a fun little audio tour if you're interested in history. And we've got tons of downtown restaurants. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Johnny. And now I quickly want to talk about events with you. So I know that you're responsible for our maintaining our events calendar on the DSA website. Are there any upcoming events that you might want to remind viewers to attend?
As a matter of fact, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Stockton Con, very, very popular event. And if you're in the area, some of the costumes are very, very extravagant, and it's just fun to see. Very popular event. There'll be a lot of people. Oh, and then on September 10th is the Brew Fest in Weber Point. Those are two events that are coming up.
Those are great ones. Yeah, big, like popular events. Lots of people go. So thank you for the reminder about those events.
Yeah, that's true. Very popular.
So where can people go to learn more about what's happening downtown? Or if someone has an event that they're hosting, how can they get that added to the Downtown Stockton Alliance calendar?
Okay, so if you go to our website, dsa.org, you can go to the events and you'll see our event calendar. That's where all the events that are listed. If you do have an event or you know of an event that's going to be happening in downtown, you can call us, you can email me. Most of the time I get phone calls for the event if I haven't found it already on my own, but that's where you can see a lot of the local events is through our website, downtownstockton.org.
Perfect, thank you. Related to events, I have a question for both of you. Since you've been working with the DSA for many years, if you had to choose like your favorite event that the DSA put on, like which event do you think was the most fun, the best event, in your opinion?
I would probably say Stocktoberfest. It was held down at the waterfront warehouse in the little pavilion. That was a lot of fun.
Tell me a little bit more, like what was involved? Was it multiple days?
It was the spin-off of Oktoberfest. And we had food vendors that had the type of food that was served, sausages and different types of food. There was different contests, music, and lots of different types of beer and ales. Everybody had an extremely good time. But yeah, I think Oktoberfest was
amazing.
It was
like
a
we
lot.
Might need to bring it back.
It was fun. Yeah.
Okay, and Johnny.
I knew she was gonna say that because you know what? Oktoberfest was so much fun. Like we said earlier, we work hard and we play hard. There was so much work leading up to it, and especially the day of. but it was so much fun. Oktoberfest, I would say, and then also Taste of San Joaquin was something we used to do with a lot of work, but it would be we haven't done it for a while, but we had all kinds of food vendors from Stockton. We mainly focused on downtown food restaurants, but also any place else within our area that wanted to participate. You could go and you have tickets. We had drinks. You could taste all kinds of food. It was very popular. But going back to Stocktoberfest, that would be my number one. In those days, I was my role was getting all the volunteers, which really wasn't easy, but it was really rewarding. And you know what? A lot of those volunteers, Leadership Stockton was a big resource for me for volunteers. They still remember me. Hi Johnny. Lawyers, paralegals, bank workers, just any of the volunteers, they still remember me from that day from that event. It was so much fun. I wish they would bring it back, but it was a lot of work. But that for the events, we've really cut down on events as far as ourselves, but those are good memories. We would work so hard though. By the end of the day, we're just no energy, but it was worth it. It was really a lot of fun. We still get asked about Oktoberfest in October. People always say, "Do you guys still do that?" So it's the Brew Fest now, but it's going to be in September. It's a little bit different, but it's still a lot of fun.
Wow. So both of you are definitely in agreement about Stocktoberfest.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm sad I missed it. I'm sad I wasn't a part of it. That's okay. There's time in the future. Okay, thank you. And I just have a few more questions left. So this one is a little bit more serious. What would you say is like one challenging aspect of working towards downtown revitalization?
That's a good one, Courtney. I think the perception that a lot of people have is that the downtown's not safe enough, or they have a lot of fears of being downtown. And until we change that perception and get people to understand, that it is safe, it's going to be an uphill battle. And we really need to get a couple of more things to do at night in the downtown area. Sacramento, they have that one street that is, lit up at night. Modesto has different things. So we need to change people's perception of the downtown, so that by doing that, we can get different events held in the downtown for people to come to.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, that's a huge thing that we experience as the perception that downtown is not that safe, or that there's not that much to do. I know it's grown over time. We have several restaurants that are open in the evenings right now, and I would love to see more nightlife though. I totally agree with you on that. All right, and Johnny, what would you say is a challenging aspect of trying to revitalize the downtown area?
Well, on top of what you guys just said, even with all those changes that have happened and that are happening, one of the challenging aspects of revitalizing downtown is continuous cleaning of the streets, emptying the garbage, because even though you clean it, there's going to be more garbage the next day. So our maintenance guys, even though they're cleaning the graffiti, emptying the garbage, power washing the street, knowing that maybe a half hour to an hour later it just might be dirty again, it just comes with the territory. They never give up because it's their job to keep it clean. They take pride in the work. So I would just say, with all those changes as far as nightlife, and it will come within time. Downtown really is growing. You have to be here to see it. But just my thought on the challenges would be just keeping the streets clean and those roles still going even through all that time in the future.
Yeah,
Also,
definitely. It's ongoing.
It's ongoing. And then we also have to address the homeless issues when they're here, in the best way that we can. And we do have lots of resources. So I'd say that all of that has improved in the years, which is only going to lead to improve even more in the future.
Definitely. I'm in total agreement on with you on that as well. Okay, so in your own words, what makes the DSA such an essential resource for the downtown community? Like, why do you think the work of that we do is so important?
Well, if the maintenance side, if we didn't have the maintenance side, the pressure washing, the streets would be horrific. You'd have garbage cans overflowing. You'd have garbage all on the streets. You'd have human feces everywhere. It would be horrible in that aspect. Let's see, I'm not quite. What else could we do? Well, without the programs that we offer as far as economic development and as far as Mike, working with the city and the county, if the DSA wasn't here, I'm afraid of actually what the downtown would look like, because we are such an intricate part of the workings of the downtown. So I'm afraid of what it actually would, it would fall apart. I truly believe.
That's interesting to think about. Yeah, it's hard to imagine what downtown would be like without the work that you're doing with the maintenance team, making sure they're cleaning it up. I'm sure it would be a reversion back to what it was when you first started. So yes, I totally agree with what you're saying about, that being an essential piece of downtown's work. How about Johnny?
I think that our presence here physically and here, I think that we are easily to get a hold of for assistance. Whether you see somebody outside or just giving us a call, we're located right in the heart of downtown. I just think that we're a easy resource, so just to pick up a phone and give us a call to help with whatever issues you have all the time.
That's true. And sometimes you guys have all experienced this. We'll get calls, about anything. It could be anything under the sun. I'm having a fire. I don't know. Someone's trying to break into my building, or, hey, I thought you were this business, because our number is on our business directory. But if you call and we can't solve the problem directly, I can attest to the fact we will find the place for you.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. If we can't solve it, if we can't fix it, we'll find the resource that can. But you're right, Courtney. We get all kind of calls. People, like you said, break-ins and fires, and it's not what we do.
Yes, but we will always direct you to the right place. So if we don't have the phone number, we'll, just quickly Google it for you. If we can't answer it, we'll direct you to the right person. So I think that's a big part of what we do as at the DSA, is just being that resource that you're talking about, Johnny. Definitely. Okay. What is one thing happening downtown, or like that's going to be happening in the next year or so, that you guys are excited about?
Oh, they're putting in a grocery store. They're building new apartments on the corner of Hunter and Minor. And on the bottom floor, they're putting in a full-fledged grocery store, which will be so nice. That way, if I need something for dinner, I need to pick up something, I can just run across the street and pick it up.
I cannot wait. That's going to be a very interesting addition for our residents.
Yes.
Amazing.
That's the one thing everybody says, we need a grocery store. We need a grocery store. Well, now we're about to get one.
Yay. All right. And Johnny.
I was going to say something like that too. That it's one of the new housing that they're building right here. It's on the corner of Hunter and Minor, like you said. Grandview Village is what it's called, and it's the Visionary Home Builders. I'm excited about that because it's right outside our window and it's going up so fast. But you know what else I'm looking forward to. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I know it's going to be in the works. Is the USS Lucid. They're going to be bringing it here and parking it right here on the waterfront. So I'm looking forward to that because it'll give it a whole new ambiance, a whole new feel, and bring a lot more people to visit. I'm looking forward to that. But the grocery store, you can't beat that. I can't wait.
Right after work, you're like, okay, I need to shop for dinner. Oh, here we go. And just walk right over. It's going to change downtown, and I can totally see that happening. 100% agree with you guys. And that USS Lucid, that's going to be very exciting. Having kind of another museum in downtown, it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, just a few more questions before we jump into viewer questions. Okay, so are there any important resources that you guys would like to recommend to the community that are not like through the DSA? They're just important resources that you think are helpful for people to know about. Is there anything you'd like for me to share or for you to share?
I have two. Visit Stockton. They have events throughout the whole county. We're mostly downtown. Another resource for anybody in our city would be Ask Stockton, which is something that we use all the time. For example, when there's abandoned couches, furniture, refrigerators, stuff like that on the sidewalks. Our guys can't pick up those big appliances and stuff like that. So I go to the city's website, stocktonca.gov, and I go to Ask Stockton, and you put in a request. It's very simple, where it's located, and they'll come and they'll clean it up within the week. So that's for anybody that lives in Stockton. I would say Ask Stockton is a great resource. And if you wanted to know about any events, or maybe go to a vineyard or anywhere within our county, Visit Stockton is a really good resource to any of those places you might want to visit throughout San Joaquin County.
Perfect. Those are two amazing resources. Yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about what there is to do locally, Visit Stockton is a great help for that. And Ask Stockton is huge. Like you said, that's a huge tool that you both use, I've used, it's anyone in the community can use it. I love Ask Stockton. I love it. Okay, thank you, Johnny. And now Charisse.
I would have to agree with Johnny because Visit Stockton, they have a lot of not only Stockton souvenirs, but they have their outreach in the community. And as Stockton, we use that all the time, every day, several times a day. So I think, those two resources are great.
Amazing. Okay, so you guys are in agreement. My last two questions are, one, how can people get in touch with either of you if they have further questions about anything that we talked about today? That's my first question.
They can call our office number, 209-464-5246. And either I or Johnny will answer the phone. They can always email us if they would like. So those, mostly phone calls, I think would work the best.
Okay, and I think the sound cut out a little bit. So just so for everyone, to make sure everyone heard, the phone number for the DSA office is 209-464-5246. So thank you. Just call if you have any questions. And Johnny, how can they get in touch with you? Could you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Okay. I couldn't hear your response. I was just saying, Johnny, how could people get in touch with you the same way?
Oh, yeah. Same thing. They could give me a call, 209-464-5246. Unless they see me in person, but that's the best way to get in touch with me, to call and ask for Johnny.
Perfect. Okay, the very last question is there anything else you think people should know or understand about the Downtown Stockton Alliance or the work that you guys do.
Well, we are here to serve. If we don't know how to fix it, or if we don't know, if we don't do it ourselves, we are always, we'll find a partner or we'll find a resource that they can, because I know numerous times I'm on the computer on Google, looking up phone numbers for people or looking up addresses for people. So I've always said, if we don't do it, we can't do it. We'll find somebody that can.
Definitely. And Johnny.
Yeah, I think it's a great place to work. We're here to keep everybody interested, informed, and entertained in a growing downtown.
Perfect. So we're here as a resource for all of you, our community. Okay, thank you, Charisse and Johnny, for answering my questions. We do just have a couple of viewer questions coming in. Before I share them, I do want to remind everyone that this video is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel, which is Downtown Stockton. If you're watching live, then you have found us on Facebook, but we also have Instagram at Downtown Stockton and Twitter at Downtown STKN. So now let's go into viewer questions. Do you guys feel ready? There's just a couple. Good to go.
Always.
Good. Woohoo. Okay, so the first question is from Elijah. He asks, what cool new things are happening downtown this year? So you guys shared about Grandview Village. Is there anything else that's exciting that maybe you want to share about?
Well, I think, Johnny, when did you say they're bringing the naval ship down? Is that going to be the?
We don't have an exact date yet, but it is going to happen. Hopefully in the next year, but we don't have a set date. They're still working on the funding, I believe.
I have two, unless Charisse, do you have one?
No.
Johnny, do you have anyone that you want to share about?
Well, if you want to, during the summer right now, our water feature is open again at Weber Point. Like every day when I'm walking back to my car, you see the kids out there playing in the water. I almost want to go jump in it with them when it's 100 degrees. But yeah, that's open again after a couple of years of being shut down. Not because of COVID, also because of COVID, but because the fountains just didn't work. But now that they've brought it back, it's open every day. You can go there and hang out with the kids or by yourself. That's something that they brought back that's going on right now.
Yeah, I love that for the summertime. I think, I would definitely bring my family down. Go ahead, Charisse.
Music in the Plaza. And September, every Tuesday in September, we have a live band, and it's down in the Cinema Plaza. So that brings a lot of people down.
Definitely. Music in the Plaza, we ran it in May. I think we ran it in April, and yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back in September. Yeah. One other thing that we didn't talk about, but I know is coming, is the Christmas parade. So I know Mike is arranging, our CEO, he's arranging a Christmas parade coming this December. So, but stay tuned on the date because we don't have it yet.
Yes.
All right, thank you guys. So the next question is from Janae, and she's asking, what businesses would you like to see downtown? Like, what would you like to see come here?
I think we have a wide variety of businesses. You have clothing stores, you have coffee shops. The only thing that, like I said, personally, that I would like to see, and which we are about to get, would be a grocery store. But there's a wide variety of different businesses down here.
Awesome. And that's coming soon, sounds like.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
How about you, Johnny? Is there any business that you would like to see come downtown?
I would love to see a Chinese restaurant or two, because that's one thing that we're missing. Where in the past we had, actually we had several, but now we don't have any, not for any particular reason. But I would like to have a Chinese food place come back because I like to eat.
Right? I would love to see that as well. Yes, please, please. A Chinese food business would be pretty cool. I know I was sad when we lost our Thai restaurant. I really loved the Thai food over there. So new restaurants, new businesses, bring them on. Okay, the next question is from Sean. He's asking if you could own or open a business downtown, what would it be?
That's a good one. Probably a boutique.
Okay. Yeah, what would you sell?
Native American items, of course. That's what.
Perfect. I would love that. We need more retail. And that's, you know,
Yes.
perfectly a great fit for you personally. I love that.
Yes. Johnny?
Johnny?
You know, I'm at a blank on this one. I can't even think of what kind of a business I would like to have. Maybe something like a novelty shop where you sold little, you know, little gifts, but gags too, like some of them for 18 and over, or just somewhere where you could go and get a crazy greeting card, or kind of like the one you got on your birthday from Ace and me, but somewhere where you could get like cool little gifts. Oh, kind of like an Evangeline's that's in downtown, that's in Old Sacramento, something like that here. We're the costume shop for Halloween at the same time. Now, forget the blank. I got great ideas now. I would like to have like a theatrical costume / novelty gift shop.
I like it. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Bring it
I'll work on the
downtown.
name. That's what it is.
Gag gifts galore. Yeah, Johnny is a huge jokester and prankster for anyone who doesn't know. So that would be a perfect business for you. Okay, I love this. I like your guys' businesses. Let's make it happen.
We'll support each other. We do that already.
Exactly. So I think, let me double check if there are any more questions. All right. So those were all the viewer questions that we had. And I would just like to say thank you to both of you for all of the work that you do for the DSA. It's very important to our community, to our business owners, residents, visitors, property owners. You know, all the work that you guys do is essential. And I would just want to say a huge thank you to both of you, Charisse and Johnny, for everything that you do for the DSA. You guys are awesome. You know,
Thank you.
you've been here, you're staples at this point of downtown. You're rooted here. So I just love that. And thank you for your time today, for being willing to answer my questions and to answer viewer questions. I know you guys were like, oh no, we're not sure if we want to, you know, be on camera, but you guys did wonderful. So thank you so much for letting me interview you. And I'm happy to be on the team with you. So thank you to both.
Thank you.
And also thank you viewers for tuning in. Do you guys have any closing remarks or comments that you want to share before we wrap up?
Downtown Stockton rocks. Hold on, Shirley.
Johnny said it all.
Thank you, guys.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, Charisse and Johnny. And thanks, viewers. Have a great day downtown.